Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Four Towers Films.
And I'm Doug218. How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
How are you guys doing? We are here recapping Big Brother Season 22 All-Stars, episode number 2.
2. And we finally got to see the have-not, right?
Yeah, roughly 5 minutes or so after the show ended for them. They were able to get into the have, because remember, they had trouble. The door was locked and they needed production to open it for them. So for this episode, it's 5 minutes into the episode, but for them, remember, we were supposed to see it live on Wednesday, Thursday, but so roughly not long after that, they were able to get into the have-not room.
And just
Which kind of looked like a big boiler or underground.
Well, and that's even what Kevin said. It was just like, I'm living in the sewer of Big Brother City, and it's
Yeah,
like
this big beautiful city above us, and we're living in the sewer under the beautiful city. They actually have beds, though. A lot of times they don't.
yeah, it looked like actual fold-up army cots.
Yeah.
With one blanket.
Oh, better than, remember one year they had like dentist chairs?
Oh yeah.
At least they had beds.
So as you guys remember, Cody is HOH, and the first one up there to talk to him is Nicole F.
Right.
Because they've competed in the previous
Yeah, they were in a previous season together.
And so they're kind of bouncing back and forth. And she's asking, who do you think about putting up? And
Well, because like they want to work together because they've worked together before,
sorry.
and they trust each other. And they basically said they only really trust each other, and that they're each other's ride or die. You know, we'll see if that goes the entire length of the season. It might, because they do have a history. And
ride or
so
die.
they, well, you know, not really unexpectedly, the kind of more or less Kaiser and Janelle come up. It's not really unexpected that they would target them.
No.
Simply because they played multiple times. Janelle's the first 4-time player of the show, the only 4-time player. And Kaiser's played twice, I think.
And 2 of those times was with her, so
They played both times together, yeah.
so that you know, like in Cody's mindset, that's an instant.
It's a connection.
It's an instant connection, and that's got to go.
Well, if you think about it, you've got a couple players that have played together before. There's a few people in there who played in the same season before, like Nicole F. and Cody, Janelle and Kaiser. I think Nicole A. and Devon and David. They're all in last season.
Yeah.
So you could see how.
And Bailey was in there somewhere.
Oh, sorry, not Devon, Bailey. It was last season. Devon's also a multiple player. I think she's played 3 times. I think.
I believe so. So basically, his thinking is, I'm gonna throw the 2 of them up.
Right. Which that didn't come as a surprise to them. I think they expected.
That's pretty much a no-brainer shot. You know, if you don't take it,
Right.
you know.
Although you've got 2 winners this year. You've got Ian and Nicole F. But of course, yes, he's aligned with Nicole F. But Ian is also a former winner. So, but so far he's riding under the radar a little bit.
Yeah, that.
So, which is what he wanted to do.
And that's basically how he rode when he was
He played
in
last
his season.
time that way too.
But he's also mentioned Keisha as well. That he's not.
He doesn't connect well with Keisha, it
And
seems.
so he's thinking, she might be, in the back pocket kind of thing.
Well, because he's saying she doesn't really talk game with them.
Yeah. So Cody unveils the rules for the safety suite. They all get.
Yes, now they got the safety suite. He comes out with like a thing of cards or VIP passes, and they all got one.
So basically, it's one person can play, or however many at a time.
But they can only play once.
They can
Never
only-
again.
So once you play it, like you said, that's it. You're done.
That's it.
So
It's a game. It's a competition.
It's a competition. It's to keep you safe, but whoever wins it can choose whoever else they take with them.
They could take a +1.
So
But the +1 has a
punishment.
punishment.
So it's basically everyone's watching everyone else. Everyone's watching everyone.
And they have like this clock appears in the living room.
And tells them when the competition starts.
And they have up until that time to enter the competition. They don't have to enter it if they don't want to.
Nope.
They can wait. But they have up until the clock runs out to actually enter the competition. So they're all like, well, not everybody, because I think a lot of them decided they weren't going to do
Yeah.
it, at least this week. They felt like us safe enough. But you had like Tyler, Kaiser, I think Kevin was there, all sitting there watching this clock.
And it's clicking down, it's clicking down, it's clicking down, and you get interspersed. You hear Kaiser's diary thinking that he's going to have to do something really because he knows he's
a target.
He's the target. So
And even Janelle said that. She's like, I didn't leave my career and my family to go out week 1 because I think they also figure they're she's a target too.
So about what, 90 seconds?
If that, I think it was about 30.
So
Kaiser gets up and power walks to where the door where the competition is. I think it's upstairs.
Scans his card.
Scans his card and he
Goes in.
goes in.
And
And so does Janelle. Same time with less than 10 seconds.
so they were right on each other's backsides.
But Kaiser, because he did it first, he played first.
And so basically, it was a beautiful room. It was sweet.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was a beautiful room. It
One
had,
we haven't seen before.
and it had a big DJ booth set up.
That was the competition.
Competition was they played Bob Bob Black Sheep.
No, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. It's Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
And then you
But
had
like a DJ kind of remix.
so it's like each station had a specific sound, and you got
or part of the song.
so long to hear what each one made.
Well, they had to play it to hear the remix version of it. Then they could press it once to see. I think there's 5 buttons you could push, and each had a portion of the song, and you had to put it in order. And then the fastest one would win.
So, Kaiser went 3, 4, must have been 5 times at it
That we saw.
that we saw. He finally gets it.
Yeah. And then like the smoke comes out from the back of the table.
And so now,
Janelle.
same idea. She's got to go through the same procedure. But she kept hitting the one spot
The same time, like
at the-
over and over.
over and over and
almost,
over.
Yeah.
But she finally got it. So she gets the same, VIP party treatment, like the lights, the smoke, and she's like, yay! Okay, so
Then they get to find out who won.
and it was who had the
Quickest time.
Kaiser's was what?
7 minutes 55 seconds.
And Janelle's was like 16 minutes?
13 or 16 minutes. I
So-
think. Yeah, so Kaiser won it.
Kaiser won it.
So he's saved. And so
And-
then he got to choose who he wanted to take, and of course he took Janelle. So Janelle and Kaiser are both safe. I mean, I don't think anybody's surprised he picked Janelle.
That's how it was gonna end up anyway.
Well, I mean, they've played together twice already,
Mm-hmm.
so, and they're both huge targets, so of course Janelle has punishment.
And her punishment was as follows.
So she's the Big Brother All-Star mascot,
So that means
big star costume
she's got it almost looks like a safety cone wrapped in glitter and
on
it's
her head.
on her head.
And this
And
big star, which has little lights
Lights
on
on.
it, and it sparkles and it's gold, and it's got a big face on it, big smiley face on it. It's funny.
and I loved. She's like, I look pretty good in yellow.
It does suit her,
It does.
actually. And it's funny because now, like, if you watch the feeds, she'll not always wear it, which sometimes we're allowed to take off every once in a while, but as long as I have it with them.
Yeah.
So she's got it like looped around her arm. She's carrying it with her arm. She got the big star. It looks funny. And then other times she'll be in I forget what they call it. I think it's the comics room a lot of times she's in there with Nicole A. and they're talking, and she'll use it as a blanket.
Hey, why not?
Why not? Be warm.
Okay, so Cody's plan is shot
He's
to
kind
heck.
of shot, so he's not that happy about that.
So now he still has Keisha in his back pocket that he was thinking of. So
And like you said, it's not really because he dislikes her. It's just he hasn't really connected with her. And,
Yeah, of course.
He's wanting to put the least amount of blood on his hands. And so I don't know how much Keisha's really connecting with the house. Like, not that she's not social. It's just she's not really talking game that we've seen
Yeah.
with a lot of people. So
so
that's really his motivation for Keisha.
so he's got to put someone else next to her. So it ends up being
Well, Kevin thinks it might be him because he's also hasn't really connected with Cody.
mm-hmm.
And he actually went and talked to Cody.
Yeah.
And he kind of, was a little bit emotional with him, and Cody felt bad, I mean, like Cody does with feelings, he knows it's a game and stuff, but I mean, emotions get into it.
Oh, of course.
And so they did have a good talk, and he's thinking, should it be Kevin or whoever else should it be, but
Mm-hmm.
he can't really think of too many others because they're trying to form alliances, and there's some of these people they want to bring in with them,
Yeah.
because you can't just keep an alliance with just him and Nicole, right?
No, won't
So,
last.
it won't last. Only two of them. So, he's thinking. There's one point. It was on the feeds too. He sat for a long time in the HOH room, and he felt after he talked to Kevin, and he felt kind of really upset by that. Like 'cause he didn't know, is that the right thing to do? He wasn't sure, so
But ultimately,
he put up Keisha and
and
Kevin.
Kevin.
Because he was thinking ultimately, it's not really personal with them. It's not that he dislikes them. It's
No.
like he hasn't, and he said that. It's just he hasn't really talking with either
Yeah.
one of them, so
And-
he hasn't connected that way with them. So.
And like he also said, being
although it's really early in the game, but
well, that's also what he said too. Being
Yeah.
HOH, the first HOH,
not easy.
you end up making the hard calls, and
Well, because if you think about it, the first HOH, I mean, yes, some of them know each other through their own seasons or
Yeah.
through events that they've attended, but other seasons, like, they don't have a lot to go on because it's
No.
usually within a day or so of them entering the house. So
Of course.
they don't really have a lot to go on at that point. So it's really who they've connected with the
Mm-hmm.
most, or it's who they've talked to, or who they see as a threat. So really, what do you go on when you don't really know them that well at this point?
so rightfully so, they both looked.
We're upset.
Upset.
Yeah, of course.
It'll be interesting to see how POV will play out.
Yes. It will.
And-
And if it'll be used.
and
It
if it-
actually should be today. Well, the POV was played on the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
but we won't tell you till the next episode.
No
when
spoilers. No spoilers, right, boss?
That's right, 'cause
Right.
not everybody likes spoilers, so
Okay.
and not everybody watches the feeds. But it was an interesting scene with Devon and Nicole F. Because remember, they also played the same season together, one of them. And remember, Devon was one of the last votes that Nicole F. won her season.
Mm-hmm.
And so Nicole, I think she was generally felt gratitude toward Devon because she feels that she helped change her life. And so, she was teary-eyed and she went and actually thanked Devon, and she's like, because of you changed my life, and I'm gonna have your back through this and everything. And she hugged her and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And Devon's like, oh, of course.
No problem, sister. Yeah,
Devon's like, yeah, whatever.
yeah, because
Because if you remember, Nicole F. turned on a lot of her alliance that season, and Devon was one of them, but she kind of screwed over.
so Mama Day was like, whatever, it's all, you do whatever you have to, but you go find a bed and go to sleep, honey, kind of thing.
And what's funny is, if you've been watching any of the feeds, Nicole F. and Cody have kind of brought in Danny into their alliance. They think they have Devon and Bailey. I don't know if they actually do, because I don't think Devon trusts Nicole F. So I'm thinking they're leaning more towards Janelle and Kaiser at this point, or they're not. I don't think that they've really been locked down, but I don't think they're really leaning the way Cody and Nicole I think they are. But we'll see as it goes along.
It's funny we haven't even been in that long, and
But 4 days.
4 days, and there's already massive distrust running through the place. You know,
We got all stars, some of whom have played before, some of
Exactly.
who watched them play before, and I mean some of them played multiple times together. So
Yeah.
and or they've met each other. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I actually have been hearing some pretty scandalous things too. Like I don't know if it's true, but they were saying I heard from Janelle that supposedly Nicole F kept Derek, because Derek was supposed to be on the season. The one,
And
remember
Dan.
the police officer, and Dan was supposed to be on the season, apparently. But I don't know what Dan. I think Dan has said that Nicole had nothing to do with it, and so actually so is Derek. Dan said he changed his mind about coming because he wanted to keep his family safe, and same with Derek. That very well might be the case. I don't know, but there's kind of been rumors that Derek and Dan found out that they were going to be on the same team and were pre-gaming. Now that's not new to Big Brother. It's happened
No.
before, especially with vets.
Yeah.
They somehow find out they're going on, kind of thing, even though it's supposed to be a big secret.
So they were all made.
Big Brother hasn't done anything about it since, as we know of. And so apparently there was like this message board or something they were all talking in. Nicole found out, and she apparently ratted on them. Big Brother. I don't know if it's true. They say she didn't do it. It had nothing to do with her.
Yeah.
And actually, they've now told Nicole that's what Janelle, I think, has been saying. That was on the feeds. But that's what Janelle's been telling people. And if it's true, I don't know. It might be. I don't know. But both Derek and Dan said that's not why they were in the house. And it
Yeah.
had nothing to do with Nicole. So, I don't know.
So listen, guys. Hey, if you've heard let
If let us
anything,
know.
let us know.
If you've heard anything. That's what we've heard. So I
So-
don't know if it's 100% been confirmed. Janelle said so, but I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
but
all who's saying it. So I bet
Janelle
it's
is
true. I don't know.
Janelle is known for stirring.
Maybe, I don't know. It might be true, but they're both saying it's not. So I don't know. But anyway, it was an interesting, I guess, get to know you kind of thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't unexpected who his target was at
Oh,
this
of
point,
course.
but we'll see how the POV plays out and if it's played,
It'll be
and who's gonna go home.
it'll be also interesting to see in subsequent episodes how this safety suite's going to work out,
Yeah. How many people go for it?
because it's now that you know it's a catch-22, you can only use it once.
Yeah.
Like even Enzo said, you have to feel that you're in pretty dire straits.
And I think they did. I mean, they were right. One of them
Yeah.
would have gone home.
So
They would have been nominated. I mean, only one can get off. So, and one of them probably would have gone home. So,
the next thing will be to see what else will be opened up in the house, because Julie did say other rooms would be opened
that's right.
as the season went on.
That'll be interesting to see what happens.
So we, guys and gals, we've been introduced to the safety suite. I hope you tune in.
Hopefully, we'll get to actually see the safety suite. I don't think I've seen it yet on the feeds. If you have, let us know.
Yeah.
Besides the competition.
And so far, everyone is doing what they're supposed to, the protocols and that. We haven't heard any problems with
Not
the
yet.
season.
Not yet.
So we're going to keep our fingers crossed here.
Thought they'll be able to finish the season.
So,
Well, thank you for watching. It was good having you here. Hopefully you will join us for the rest of the season. And we will see you next week.
see you
Take care,
guys.
guys. Bye.
Bye.